So these are live scenes from the Shivaji Park in Mumbai, where the final rites of Lata Mangeshkar will be performed in some time from now. The time, of course, was 6:30, the official time that was said when the final rites will be performed. Dignitaries are, of course, coming in even as we speak. We saw the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, who is already present now. The Governor of Maharashtra is also making his way. Bhagat Singh Koshyari, he is, of course, now in Shivaji Park. He's making his way to the place where the final rites will be performed. The Indian Prime Minister is also expected to be at the Shivaji Park for the final rites to be performed in some moments from now. All right, so the Indian Prime Minister has also made his way to the Shivaji Park. This is where the final rites will be performed.
अत्यंत शोकाकुल वातावरणामध्ये आपण या ठिकाणी दिदींना आदरांजली वाहण्यासाठी या ठिकाणी शिवतीर्थावर या ठिकाणी जमलो.
So this is a moment when not just the people in India, but any music lover from any part of the world is of course mourning the loss of one of India's most talented of daughters, Lata Mangeshkar, who's now passed away at the age of 92. But her music, of course, lives on, and it is her music that is immortal. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has also made his way to the Shivaji Park in Mumbai, and we expect the final rites will be performed in some time from now. Remember, Prime Minister Modi was one of the first leaders who paid his tribute to Lata Mangeshkar earlier this morning. He's now laying a wreath at the mortal remains of Lata Mangeshkar.
आपल्या प्रत्येकाच्या भावना खऱ्या अर्थाने आज आपल्या साश्रू नयनातून आपण सगळेजण व्यक्त करतोय. तर असा क्षण कधी आपल्या आयुष्यात लवकर येईल असं वाटलं नव्हतं. आपल्या स्वरातून आपल्या मनावर अधिराज्य गाजवणारे.
So the Prime Minister laying a wreath at the mortal remains of Lata Mangeshkar. He had earlier in the morning had tweeted that he is deeply anguished beyond words. The kind and caring Lata Didi has left us. So these are the final moments before the final rites of Lata Mangeshkar will be performed in some time from now. So as the light begins to fail and as dusk falls, we expect the singer who gave so much joy and who gave vent and who helped Indians articulate the many emotions that they felt over the years and across generations will of course be cremated in some time from now. Tributes have of course been pouring in for the late Lata Mangeshkar from around the world. Different celebrities, different political dignitaries, they've all been tweeting about the icon that India has lost, about the gem, the Bharat Ratna. It's not just the fact that Lata Mangeshkar is not just a Bharat Ratna, but indeed a Ratna for the whole world. And that is what has been repeatedly said, that Lata Mangeshkar gave so much joy for the millions and millions of people, not just in India, but indeed across the world. And someone who helped Indians experience and articulate the feelings that they were going through, the emotions that they were going through in their lives, of happiness, of joy, of sorrow. And that is what makes her immortal. And it is these things which of course, set Lata Mangeshkar apart, arguably one of the greatest singers of modern India since independence. Lata Mangeshkar, who has, of course, been such a central part of Indian films, who has been such a central part of the music industry, and the Prime Minister interacting with some of the dignitaries present there.
दुसरीकडे राज्याचे सन्माननीय मुख्यमंत्री यांनी आता नुकतंच दिलेला पुष्पचक्र अर्पण केलं आणि सौरश्मी पाहिली आणि त्याचबरोबर परिक्रमंत्री आदित्यची भाकरे व्यक्ती दिली ना.
So these are the final moments just before Lata Mangeshkar will of course be cremated at the Shivaji Park in Mumbai, the city that gave so much to the singer and also the singer who gave back so much to the city. The Indian Prime Minister interacting with the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray. So people from different fraternities, from the world of politics, from the world of entertainment, from the world of business, they've all come to the Shivaji Park for the final rites to be performed. And as the light begins to fail in Mumbai, this is of course the moment where India will bid adieu to arguably one of the most talented artists to have ever been born in independent India.
पीयूष गोयल साहब.
केंद्रीय मंत्री माननीय पीयूष गोयल या ठिकाणी दिलेला आदरांजली व्यक्त करतात. त्याचबरोबर
So the state government in Maharashtra has declared a public holiday in the state on Monday, that is on the 7th of February, to mourn the demise of Bharat Ratna Lata Mangeshkar. This is what has been tweeted by the Chief Minister. And 2 days of national mourning have also been announced by the central government after the death of the music doyen. Now, during this period, the tricolour will fly at half-mast as a mark of respect for the Bharat Ratna awardee who has mesmerised Indian audiences for decades with her soulful voice. Many celebrities have been paying tributes to Lata Mangeshkar after her death. Amitabh Bachchan, he has said that the voice of millions has in fact left us. Sachin Tendulkar also has paid tributes to Lata Mangeshkar.
पूरा प्रांगण गूंज रहा है जब तक सूरज चांद रहेगा.
And also Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has tweeted earlier that I express deep grief on the demise of Swar Kokila Bharat Ratna Lata Mangeshkar. Her songs connected with people all over the world, with India breaking the barriers of language. Her demise is an irreparable loss for the whole nation.
So
the Indian Prime Minister there interacting with many of the dignitaries is accompanied by the Governor of Maharashtra, Bhagat Singh Koshyari. Lata Mangeshkar is being afforded a state funeral. The central government has also declared 2 days of national mourning for Lata Mangeshkar, and this is a time when the national flag will fly at half-mast. And also what is interesting is that Pakistan's federal minister Fawad Chaudhry has also tweeted paying rich tributes to Lata Mangeshkar. Remember, Lata Mangeshkar was also someone who was very, very popular in Pakistan across the border. And Fawad Chaudhry has tweeted that she ruled the world of music and she ruled the hearts of every music lover. Rich tributes have been pouring in, not just from India, but indeed from across the world. Many world leaders have also sent in some rich tributes to the golden voice of India, someone who mesmerized and also hypnotized audiences because of the beauty of her voice. She was someone who remained relevant despite decades of time that she had been in the film industry, giving her very first hit in the year 1945, before India had even attained independence, and she continued to remain relevant even into the first and the early decade of the 21st century. And this of course is a moment that India comes together to grieve the irreparable loss that India has suffered with the demise of Lata Mangeshkar. And Hema Malini, one of those actresses to whom Lata Mangeshkar lent her voice in many of her films, has also spoken and paid homage to the iconic singer, where Hema Malini had said that Lata Mangeshkar is such a big artist and such a personality. I have worked in 200 plus films and I'm lucky to have performed the hit songs that she sang. No one can sing like her. She was very special. Her passing away is very saddening, is what Hema Malini has said. So a state funeral will be accorded to Bharat Ratna Lata Mangeshkar, and the who's who from the world of films and from the world of politics have of course all come to pay homage.
माननीय भाई जगताप, माननीय सुप्रियाताई सुळे, माननीय विनोदजी तावडे, माननीय जावेदजी अख्तर, माननीय सुभाजी देसाई आणि अन्य सर्व मान्यवर या ठिकाणी लता दीदींना पुष्पचक्र वाहून आपली आदरांजली व्यक्त करतात.
So people paying their last respects to the late Lata Mangeshkar. So many people from the film fraternity. We saw Javed Akhtar there laying down a wreath. There was Supriya Sule who also laid down a wreath for Lata Mangeshkar. And this is the beauty of Lata Mangeshkar. So she's someone who has united people from across the spectrum with the power of her music, who has mesmerized audiences across generations and across political divides. They've all come together to bid adieu to arguably one of the most talented singers in modern Indian history. Someone who started her career even before India attained its independence. She started off with her singing career at a tender age of just 13 years and delivered her very first hit in 1945, and then continued to sing well into the 21st century. The full album that she sang had been for the film Veer Zara in 2004, but she'd also sung songs for films as late as 2013. So people going up to pay their last respects as they bid adieu to arguably one of the most talented singers in India, someone who has left a mark because of her music. She has sung her songs in 36 different languages and is a legend unlike any other in the Indian cinema industry. So many of the dignitaries from politics, from the world of politics, from the world of cinema, coming to pay tributes. So Anuradha Podwal, they're paying her respects to an icon of a singer, Lata Mangeshkar, who has passed away earlier this morning. So the who's who of the film industry, the who's who of Indian politics, they're all there paying their last respects to such a big icon. So this is a moment that has brought the people of India together to grieve together, to come to terms with the loss that they have suffered. That was Sachin Tendulkar along with his wife paying his respects to Lata Mangeshkar. And this is Shah Rukh Khan and his wife Gauri Khan, who are also paying their respects to the late Lata Mangeshkar, saying a small prayer as they bid adieu to such an iconic singer. So Shah Rukh Khan and his wife Gauri Khan there, because remember, it's incredible the span of duration that Lata Mangeshkar had in fact ruled the hearts of the people in Bollywood. She sang in the 1940s for actresses like Nargis and Madhubala, and then also for the films in which Shah Rukh Khan has acted in the late 90s, delivered such immortal hits that will never be forgotten. Shankar Mahadevan, another iconic singer from the Indian film industry, he's also paying his last respects to Lata Mangeshkar. So people from the world of politics, from the world of cinema, from the world of music, from the world of business, the who's who of Mumbai is there at Shivaji Park. People coming in to pay their last respects, all of them wearing face masks and paying their last respects for the Melody Queen, who's passed away early this morning at the age of 92. And this, of course, is what defined Lata Mangeshkar in many ways. Her music brought everyone together. Her music is what everyone enjoyed. And her music was so soulful, and her music articulated so beautifully the emotions of people. She was someone who made an immediate connect with her voice. A voice that mesmerized and hypnotized thousands and millions of people around the world. And that is what India has now lost. But her music will, of course, live on. And the golden voice of Lata Mangeshkar will of course continue to captivate audiences of the generations that have come and also the generations that are yet to come. People would of course remember listening to the music of Lata Mangeshkar on gramophones. This was a time when television sets did not exist. This was a time when Walkmans did not exist. This was a time when these fancy smart speakers of today did not exist. People would for the very first time listen to the music of Lata Mangeshkar on gramophones, and then her voice would of course dominate the airwaves on radio as radio started to penetrate across the length and breadth of India, and people would hear her voice, be captivated by her music. And then with the advent of television, for the very first time, people started listening and watching the music, the songs that were composed in their homes. They did not just have to go to a theatre to watch the songs and the films in which Lata Mangeshkar had performed, but they could actually watch it in their homes. In many ways, the journey of Lata Mangeshkar has been the journey of independent India. This is an incredible moment, a moment unlike any other. Shah Rukh Khan there, seen interacting with other dignitaries, interacting with Piyush Goyal. We also saw Sachin Tendulkar a little while back. He and his wife also came to pay their respects to this icon of India's music industry, and someone who is loved not just in India but indeed across the world. Anywhere that music is popular, anywhere people appreciate good music, will appreciate the music of Lata Mangeshkar. And this is something that is incredible in terms of how Lata Mangeshkar has managed to stay on and be relevant and dominate the music scene, despite the many generations of artists who've come and gone by. And this will, of course, be her lasting legacy, to actually be able to sing well into her 80s, a career that has spanned 8 decades. Imagine living for 8 decades. It was her career, a singing career that lasted for 8 decades. And in 2004, when she sang for Veer Zara, she was already about 64 years old, and then she also sang a few songs in other films as well. And these are songs that continue to remain some of these top songs in the world of Bollywood. She started singing at a very young age and had her very first hit when in 1945, and that has been the appeal of Lata Mangeshkar. Many other celebrities, many other people from the world of business, of course, paying their last respects.
स्वरचंद्रिका स्वरलता भारतरत्न गानकुर्मिळा गानसम्राज्ञी लता दीदींना आपण अंतिम विदाई देणार आहोत. आता वैदिक पद्धतीने या अंतिम विधीला शिवतीर्थावर इथे सुरुवात होते. अनेक मान्यवरांनी, भारताचे सन्माननीय पंतप्रधान माननीय नरेंद्रजी मोदी, राज्याचे माननीय मुख्यमंत्री उद्धवजी ठाकरे, उपमुख्यमंत्री अजितदादा पवार, अन्य सर्व मंत्रीगण, पर्यटन मंत्री माननीय आदित्यजी ठाकरे, राज्याचे माननीय राज्यपाल भगतसिंग कोश्यारी, केंद्रीय मंत्री पीयूष गोयल, कला क्षेत्रातील, क्रीडा क्षेत्रातील अनेक दिग्गज, अन्य अनेक मान्यवरांनी, माननीय शरदचंद्रजी पवार, माननीय राजसाहेब ठाकरे, अनेक मान्यवरांनी दीदी नायक.
So we are in the final moments just before India and indeed music lovers from around the world will bid adieu to their favorite singer, someone who has ruled their hearts and who has captivated the hearts and minds of so many of music lovers. These are people who have turned up from different fraternities, from the world of films, from the world of politics, from the world of business. They've all turned up to pay homage to the Queen of Melody, Lata Mangeshkar, who for decades, for 7 to 8 decades, has of course ruled the hearts of so many people. The funeral, we are given to understand, the cremation will be performed in some time from now. And these are the final moments as the light continues to fail, as dusk falls. It's sunset, it's post-sunset at Shivaji Park, and we expect the final rites to be performed.
तिथे दीदींना अंतिम विदाई देणार आहोत. शासकीय इतमामात दीदींचं पार्थिव आता त्या ठिकाणच्या चबुतऱ्यावर जिथे आपण त्यांना अंतिम विदाई देणार आहोत त्या ठिकाणी देण्यात येते. अमर रहे लता दीदी. अखेरचा हा पुन्हा बंद होता. असं सत्य कधी आपल्या उठ्या रीतीने असं वाटलं नव्हतं की अंतिम विदाई आपण या ठिकाणी दीदीने देतो. हे अंतिम संस्कार शासकीय इतमामात शिवतीर्थावर लावता सूर्याच्या साक्षी सप्टेंबर 2000 सप्टेंबर 31 पासून झालेला हा प्रवास आणि आज 6 फेब्रुवारी 2022 महाकाल प्रवास अनंत हाती दिली होती.
The body of Lata Mangeshkar being taken to her funeral pyre before the cremation, so we expect the cremation ceremonies to be performed in some moments from now. The various religious rituals are of course going to be performed here, and Lata Mangeshkar will be laid to rest, and it is a full state funeral that has been accorded to the late Lata Mangeshkar. We saw the who's who from the world of Bollywood, from the world of business, from the world of politics, who all came to pay respects to Lata Mangeshkar, and she of course will be cremated in a few moments from now. The pyre is ready, the body has been brought virtually next to the pyre. It will be laid on top of it before it is lit for cremation.
शासकीय इतमामात तिन्ही संघटनांच्या वतीने या ठिकाणी.
So these are live visuals that we are bringing you from Mumbai. If you're just joining us, these are the final moments where late Lata Mangeshkar, who passed away early this morning, her body is going to be cremated at Shivaji Park in the city of Mumbai. This, remember, is the city that gave so much to Lata Mangeshkar, and she of course returned all the favors with the incredible music that she has of course given in film after film, starting all the way back from 1943. She delivered her very first hit in 1945, and it is her music that will continue to define her in so many ways. So the dusk has fallen. Sunset was at 6:34 p.m. It's well past that time now. It's dark in Shivaji Park, but the light of Lata Mangeshkar's voice will of course continue to burn very brightly for all time to come, and that will of course be the lasting legacy of Lata Mangeshkar, a Bharat Ratna, but indeed a Ratna for the whole world, a gem, and a very rare gem, something which many singers say the likes of another Lata Mangeshkar may never come about. Someone who stayed relevant, someone who dominated the film industry for so long. After having delivered her hit in 1945, she just captivated the hearts and minds and souls of so many people across India. And the story of Lata Mangeshkar and her music in many ways also captured the essence of the story of independent India, and the emotions, the sorrows, the joys, the high points and the low points that the people of India of course experienced. It is through the voice of Lata Mangeshkar that it found an articulation, and now she will of course be laid to rest with the final ceremonies that will be performed. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.